everyone. We would like to welcome you all to our talk show. I'm your host, John Guarnes, and
Bench Bello.
this is our initial Zoomcast. Yesterday, we had a tryout Zoomcast, and we just really had fun. And we
Yes,
came
exactly.
out with this idea of Zoomcast to find out what are these people are doing during this period. Okay, so and how they're coping up with the current situation.
Yes,
So
exactly.
we would like to, and also we would like to inspire other people how they coping up with also with this situation. So let's start out our chit chat together with our guests. Bench.
Okay. Our first guest is one of the social media influencers and a basketball player and one of the members of hashtag Team Super. He's also Mr. DCLC 2017. We have Rigor Mendoza.
Hi, Rigor.
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hi.
So, yung first question is, what are your activities before the ECQ happened? Actually, sir, and sa mga nanonood, sobrang dami ko talagang ginagawa aside sa pag-studies and syempre, player din ako ng mga companies like, yun nga, sa Nova Tycoons, so basketball. And syempre, yung sineset, parang pinaka-main ano ko is yung social media influencer ako and nagmo-model ako at the same time. Sobrang dami kong activities na ginagawa. Kaya itong lockdown na to or yung tinatawag nating home quarantine dahil nga sa nangyari, sobrang hirap i-adjust ng sarili ko na magstay lang ako sa bahay. Kasi parang most of the time talaga, nakikita lang ako ng parents ko or ng family ko every time na uwi ako para matulog din, alis agad. So, yun lang. Second is, what are the activities you would like to do to help your community while being locked down? Actually, meron akong sinalihan na parang group na nag-aano sila ng donations, yung parang sa Globe. Actually, ano siya, voluntarily akong nagsabi na ilalagay ko sa Instagram ko, which is yun, sa Rigor Mendoza na Instagram ko, tapos inano ko siya, parang hinikayat ko yung mga followers ko na mag-donate sila by using yung mga points lang sa Globe. Kasi sobrang laking tulong na yun. Parang any single amount or any kind of help sa sitwasyon ngayon makakatulong talaga sa atin. Tapos third one is, what are your plans after the ECQ lesson learned from the situation? Actually, 3 weeks na ata or a month ago simula nung lockdown, and na-realize ko talaga na parang we need to be careful sa mga bagay na gagawin natin. We need to be, alam mo yun, parang binigay, for me, binigay sa atin to ni God para malaman natin na hindi na natin inaalagaan yung world, din na natin inaalagaan yung mga bagay na tapos parang wala tayong pake kung anong gagawin natin. Parang yan, you only live once nga sabi nila. Pero in some point in life, kailangan mo rin intindihin na parang ano lang yan, parang relationship, you need to protect and you need to take good care sa mga bagay na magbe-benefit ka naman. So yun. What is your message to all the frontliners and all our viewers? Actually, sobrang blessed ako na may mga frontliners and may mga taong nagbubuhis talaga ng buhay just to be better every day. And ayun, I hope na sana maging okay kayo, and sobrang thankful ako dahil isa kayo sa mga nagsasakripisyo ng inyong buhay. And sa mga viewers naman na nanonood dito sa ano na to, sa live na to, sana parang makinig muna tayo and tama na muna yung mga paano ba sabihin to? Tama na muna yung isinisisi natin sa iba yung mga pagkakamali na nangyari ngayon. Parang kailangan muna nating disiplinahin yung sarili natin sa mga bagay na pwede nating parang ika-benefit, kasi nagsisimula talaga yung yung kaayusan sa sarili natin. So ayun, stay safe and stay home, and para magkaroon tayo ng maayos na community.
Okay, thank you so much. So our next
sir.
guest,
Okay,
Bench,
our next yeah, our next guest is one of the social media influencers then, and then he's also a member of hashtag Team Super. We have Polo Elbow. Hi,
Hello, good
Polo.
afternoon po. So, activities before the TCQ. Activities since ano po ako, student po ako sa Far Eastern University. I used to, at schoolmate ko po si Rigor Mendoza. So, may pinagkakabalan din po kami sa school like yung mga requirements po na kailangan namin ipasa and yung mga events po like runways and mga Gusis po na inattendan ko. Actually, nakapasa po ako sa World's Best Model Philippines and may training po sana kami kaso nga lang po nagkaroon na po ng lockdown and so umuwi po ako ng probinsya dito sa Mindoro. What are you doing now? Ang ginagawa ko po ngayon sa province, dito lang po, parang sa bahay lang po naka-stay and gumagawa rin po ako ng mga home workouts and I entertain myself by playing instruments at yung mag-TikTok po. And question number 2, pwede po yung question number 2, hindi ko po kasi nasulat.
so what are the activities you would like to do to help your community?
The activities po na ginagawa ko para makatulong po sa community, especially po dito sa province namin, is yung sumunod lang po talaga at maki-operate po sa mga pinapatupad po. Like, bawal po muna lumabas, bawal po magpagala-gala, especially for few hours. Yun po, yun lang po. And number 3, what are your plans after the EC? I'll stay in the province for 1 week bago po ako lumas ng Manila. Kasi po, natatakot pa rin po yung parents ko para sa na hindi pa naman daw po ganun siguro mawawala agad yung virus. So, I prefer to stay here in the province for a while. And siguro po paghandaan na rin po yung mga events na darating. And last question po, what are the message to the frontliners? I'd like to thank all the frontliners na nagsasakripisyo po para matapos na tong cases na ito. At po, yung na-appreciate ko din po yung kahit wala na silang masakyan, they used to walk na kahit gaano kalayo, makatulong lang po talaga. And sa mga viewers po, stay safe po tayo palagi. Lagi po maghugas ng kamay and paglalabas, wear po kayo ng mask and stay home, save lives. Yun lang po.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Now let's go
Polo.
to our next guest.
Okay, our next guest, we have, he is a singer, pop singer, songwriter, and chairman for youth affairs at Gusi Peace Prize International. We have Mikko Gussi.
A wonderful life to all of you, and let's all stand in solidarity during the quarantine period. Thank you so much for having me, by the way.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the first question, what are your activities before the ECQ happened and what are you doing now? So that's 2 questions. I'll answer it in 2 parts. So what I used to do before the quarantine, I had a lot of adventures, in my capacity as a singer-songwriter and also as the chairman for youth affairs of Gusi Peace Press. I would always travel to a new place, meet new different kinds of people, and I would have speaking engagements and sing song numbers in different places. And it really inspires me to experience culture, in every place that I go to. And what I'm doing right now, and what I can tell other people to do right now, is to still find that sense of adventure, find that sense of newness. If they cannot go to a new place, if they cannot go to a new cultural landscape or meet new people, what they can do right now is experience newness by trying something at home that they haven't done before. They could try a new recipe that they haven't done before. They could pick up on a new book that they haven't read before. or they could pick up on a new hobby. Like in my case, it's not new for me, songwriting, but I always try to write new songs. And by experiencing that newness in life, there will always be one way or another to experience adventure in life. So the
That's
second
so
question.
inspiring. That's really
Thank you.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the second question, what are the activities you would like to do to help your community while being locked down? Well, right now, to be very honest, I'm not doing anything to combat coronavirus, but what I'm doing right now is working on environmentalism. As a matter of fact, last March 28th, I was supposed to have a grand tree planting project with 500 people and 2,000 seedlings to be planted. But unfortunately, because of the lockdown, it had to be rescheduled after the lockdown. But what I do right now is, at the very least, I could at least still educate people about the positive effects of being an environmentalist, the positive effects of planting trees, of being nature friendly, and so that so by continuing to educate the young people, I could continue to inspire them, and they could continue to learn from me. And so when they experience that, then they will have a productive vacation, and it will not feel like a prison sentence during this lockdown. It could feel like a productive uh, period of their lives where they can learn so many things because they have so many time. And the third thing, what are your plans after the ECQ? Lessons learned from the situation. Um, those are two questions again, so I'll answer in two parts. Well, I have been coordinating with Congressman Fidel Nograles, as well as 500 of a lot of my friends, followers, and supporters. So I all have their full support to reschedule the tree planting once we see the light of the tunnel of this coronavirus. I will do it in Montalban, Rizal, such a beautiful place where the Wawa Dam is. And you all are invited to join one and on a date that will be announced.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be such a wonderful endeavor, because I really believe that our world is acting up because we are abusing it. So one way or another, if we, I'm not an expert when it comes to diseases and coronavirus matters, but one thing that I know, it takes only basic human decency, to take care of the world, which will be inhabited by your family and the children of your family and the children of their children. So at
Yes.
the very least, when we do something nice for the world, it will really have a ripple effect, and it will benefit all the future generations. Um, the lesson that I've learned from this situation, well, there's really no lesson to learn from this situation, because all of us really were caught off guard. All of us were really had no hand in what's happening right now in the world. Maybe if there is a silver lining rather than a lesson, we should at least have the courage to speak up for what we believe in. When we speak up for what we believe in and we release our truth into the world, that would at least, you know, the lesson that I've learned, because of the situation with the coronavirus or the COVID-19, I understand that life is fragile. So there's really no lesson to learn, because we are all victims. But if there's a silver lining in the situation, we could all at least speak our truth. Because when we understand that we are so vulnerable and fragile, we should live our life to the fullest and be true to ourselves, sing our hearts out, dance in the rain, and just be helpful and kind to others, so that the next moment that we might have not the chance to do that, at least we have no regrets, and we have set the matter straight with all of our friends and all of our enemies. So the fourth question, the fourth question, what is your message to all the frontliners? I know, well, my mom is a doctor, and she's also a colonel, a reservist of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So I have grown up to really see my mom tending to the poor and the needy, and what her work really struck a chord with me, and I really appreciate what she does. And in effect, I appreciate everyone, all the healthcare professionals, be it doctors or nurses or people in the ambulatory services. I really appreciate that what you're doing. I know it's your obligation, but I know you're not acting out of obligation, but out of compassion for your countrymen and for your country.
Yes,
So
exactly.
thank you so much for doing what you're doing. We love you. And the least that I can do for you guys is to not get sick, be responsible, and stay at home. So stay safe and fight the coronavirus.
Thank you so much, Miko. That's so inspiring, and I
Inspiring.
hope that our viewers are really catching up. So let's go to our next guest.
Thank you.
Okay, our last guest, the last but not the least, we have, she's a model for a couple of years already, and she is also a financial analyst. We have Pat Obillos. Good afternoon, Pat.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Okay, so for the first question, what are your activities before the ECQ happened and what are you doing now? So my normal week would be going to the office from Monday to Friday, and on Fridays and Saturdays I will be going out with my friends or my boyfriend, and Sundays church with mom. Thus there are times then there would be fashion shows. And so what am I doing now? Right now, I'm actually working from home. It's a good thing pinayagan kami ng Australian clients namin kasi as of the moment, pumapasok pa rin sila sa office nila. Sa city nila kasi sa Queensland, so sa Queensland sila nakabase. So
Mhm.
far, sabi nila, wala pang lockdown doon. And
Mhm.
ang naririnig ko lang na sa news na may lockdown so far ay Sydney.
Sydney, yeah.
They told us they were only given guidelines by the government regarding social distancing. So, makikita namin sila sa Skype pag may meeting. Naka one seat apart sila. So, that's good. So, ayun, mostly work lang talaga ako. And homebody kasi ako, kaya I enjoy staying at home. So, it's not like I'm being held captive in my own home. Ang daming magagawa sa bahay eh. For starters, there's Facebook. Of course, then YouTube,
Mhm.
Netflix, and I've been reading a book. I've been learning a lot. Ang daming matututunan actually at home. Then, of course, may time na ako to exercise. And I still get to walk
Papayat
the
ka na.
dogs. Yes. For fashion shows. So, ayun. I still get to walk the dogs pa naman. Kasi nasa village naman kami. So, kahit lumabas kami, wala naman kaming makakasaluma na other people. And second question, what are the activities you would like to do to help your community while being in lockdown? In able to help. Kasi ano eh, by simply staying at home pa lang, nakakatulong na tayo. So I remember, my mom and I went to Landers, so it's a supermarket. There was this woman who was on the cashier. Tapos at the same time, siya rin yung nagpapack ng groceries namin. So I decided to help her out. Ako na lang nagpack. So in small ways, makakatulong tayo sa mga frontliners natin, di ba? And since the government has advised us to stay at home, ang pinakang magandang magagawa na lang siguro natin is to stay at home and to give financial support to
Yeah.
those in need. And wag maging pasaway, yun na lang.
Correct.
Correct.
And third, what are your plans after the ECQ and lesson learned from the situation? So honestly, my plans actually at the top of my list is to see my boyfriend after this pandemic. Sobrang tagal na namin hindi nagkita. Kasi yung mom ko, I live with her naman. And yung sister ko, she's in the neighborhood. So, lagi naman kami nagkikita. And hopefully, matapos na siya because I'll be celebrating my birthday this May.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, no.
I hope before your
Um,
birthday, Pat. Matapos na.
Hopefully nga, Sir Bench. And as for
Then your message
Mhm.
a lesson
to
learned
our
as
frontliners.
from the situation. As for the lesson from the pandemic, I guess more on realization siya for me regarding our frontliners. Kasi di ba we see them every day. Pero ngayon lang natin na-realize kung gaano sila ka-importante sa society. Kung wala sila, what's going to happen to us? We have our nurses, doctors, policemen, supermarket workers. Tapos who's gonna provide us with food, water, and healthcare? Sila ang mga taong overworked. Even before this pandemic ever started,
Oo.
overworked na sila. Tapos sila pa yung mga workers na underpaid and underappreciated. So sana, pwede lang sana pakiusap sa mga tao, be nice to them. They're working extremely hard. I guess, isang malaking realization sa lahat ng tao na. Since nakikita natin sila every day, we take them for granted.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Tapos, another one, totoo yung saying na crisis brings out the best and the worst in people. Makikita mo talaga ang personality ng tao and their intentions when you place them in a tight situation.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Your
for
message.
my message, first and foremost, thank you, of course, to all the frontliners and everyone who has been helping out with the situation. For everyone, just stay strong, stay at home, strictly follow the protocol. Just pray to God, be grateful for what you have, and be nice to each other. Yun lang.
I love it.
Love it. Thank you, Pa.
Okay, I think you
Thank
forgot
you.
someone. And to all our guests, to all your
Thank you.
inspiring messages. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Mikko. Thank you, Polo. Thank you, Rigor.
Mhm.
Did I miss somebody? Nico.
Nico, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much. We
having
really
me.
enjoy our time with
Thank you.
you. We're so happy you pinaunlakan nyo yung aming panyaya.
Yeah.
Kaya maraming salamat sa inyo. Kaya I think at this time we should really focus ourselves on our spiritual life and be more stronger with our relationship to God. So before we end, I would like to quote these verse passages from the Bible. In Colossians chapter 1, verse 1 to 14, it says here, we also pray that you will be strengthened with his glorious power, so that you will have all the patience and endurance you need. May you be filled with joy, always thanking the Father who has enabled you to share the inheritance that belongs to God's holy people who live in the light. For he has rescued us from the one who rules in the kingdom of darkness, and he has brought us into the kingdom of his dear Son Jesus. God has purchased our freedom with his blood and has forgiven all our sins. So we learn a lot from these things, and we learn from you guys. We really learn how you're coping up with this, and we hope that our viewers are also catching up with us this day. And I hope that you stay at home
And save
and save
lives.
more life.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
Bench, thank you so
yeah,
much for joining with me again.
yeah. And of course,
You guys.
we would like to invite everyone. If you want to help and donate, just follow the Queen of Hearts Foundation Incorporated. You can donate, and if you want to do something about the situation, if you want to uh, uh, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do to fight and to help others. So if you want to help and donate, just follow our fan page, the MMG Queen of Hearts Foundation Incorporated. And don't forget to follow our social media, John Guarnes and Beware. Thank you so much, everyone.